Behind the scenes of a morning talk show and the glare of the television, there lies a story that no one knows. Anticipated no less than America's beloved anchor Kelly Ripa has faced her deepest fear. She had Mark Canuelos, her husband, transferred to the intensive care unit when the cancer's long-term consequences began to manifest. What happened in that hospital room, though, is a story about more than simply medicine. This is a story of love, perseverance, and holding on when things become tough. Today, we are progressively exposing the truth. Stay with me until the very end because the outcome will surprise you. The news was originally broken softly. It seemed like any other week for Kelly and Mark. Family dinners, silly on-screen antics, and the usual playful banter between them and their kids. But behind closed doors, Mark had been feeling extraordinarily weary. At first, he didn't pay it any mind. After all, his strength and discipline earned him renown. However, following a short fall and an urgent 911 call, he was sent directly to the ICU. Kelly Ripa is no stranger to public scrutiny. For decades, she has managed stardom, family, and television while remaining in the spotlight. But she hadn't anticipated the cold, clinical ambience of the ICU waiting area. The preservation of her reputation and standing was her utmost priority. The man she calls her anchor left her, and that was the turning point. As she sat there, she stared at the spotless walls of the hospital. Their initial encounter on All My Children kept resonating in her mind. Had their romance come to a close? Kelly, throughout her time of waiting, thought of her parents' words of wisdom and her father's. True love isn't about having easy days. The story revolves around the resilience you display when faced with adversity. She defended herself with that memory. As soon as the doctors walked into the room, she braced herself for the fight of their life. Thunderclap was the sound that echoed across the air. Cancer is not some vague concern or behind-the-scenes tale. It's a medical fact. A cruel turn of events befell Mark. Kelly has admitted in the past that this nightmare was her one and only genuine dread. The Consuelos family took their loved one's illness, devastating though it was, as a rallying cry. Lola, Michael, and Vakin were the three children who had always thought their father was unbeatable. Breaking the news to them was a very difficult experience for Kelly. But instead of despondency, something extraordinary happened. Young people banded together. "If Dad's taught us anything, it's that we don't give up," Michael said, affirming Kelly's inner strength. At 2 o'clock in the morning, the intensive care unit's alarms went off. Kelly was startled awake by the noise. Almost Kelly's greatest nightmare came true as the doctors rushed in. For what felt like hours, Mark's life was in danger. Kelly knelt down and prayed silently as the nurses frantically chatted and the machines beeped. Kelly turned to her faith, which she had hidden from the world on many occasions during that difficult period. This time, she wasn't pleading for attention or money. She just wanted to spend the day with the man she loved. Somehow, the situation calmed down thereafter. Doctors said it was just a temporary fix. Kelly said it was a blessing. Mark and Kelly came to an agreement after the horror. Surgery, chemotherapy, and innumerable hospital visits would all be shared experiences. No amount of dread would ever define their love story. A classic Reaper joke was even made by Kelly. "If you think doing the laundry will make you more efficient, Mark, you're totally wrong." Their capacity to find humor in trying times became a secret weapon. It is seldom an easy road to cancer. Coinciding with Mark's apparent stability, test results revealed a more severe cancer than expected. Kelly was faced with the decision: reveal everything to the public or keep fighting secretly. Kelly thought long and hard about it, and she ultimately decided that their story would inspire others. On her morning broadcast, Kelly seemed to be smiling the same, but her comments were more nuanced. Her discussion on resilience and finding strength in unexpected places was kept vague. People felt something was wrong, even though they didn't fully grasp the depth to which her remarks were rooted in her own suffering. However, an issue awaited behind the scenes of the cameras. Kelly's stamina was severely challenged. One of the most famous and prosperous couples in Hollywood for a long time was Mark Canuelos and Kelly Ripa. It has always felt like a fairy tale when two young actors fall in love, start a beautiful family, and achieve personal and professional success. The couple is currently going through a terrible moment, though. Beneath all the smiles and laughter on TV, Mark Consuelos' cancer has worsened, putting him in intensive care unit struggle. Kelly's worst fear. The news broke with devastating news. Supporters all across the world are shocked and praying for the pair as they face this painful reality. A story of love built on solid ground. Everyone has been talking about the legendary relationship between Kelly and Mark ever since they appeared on All My Children in the 1990s. Their on-screen romance quickly blossomed into a real-life alliance. In 1996, they secretly tied the knot and, despite their busy work schedules, raised 3 children: Michael, Lola, and Vaken. Many have looked to their friendship as a beacon of stability in the notoriously unstable Hollywood industry. Life may test even the strongest relationships, and they were unprepared for this health disaster. Things are heating up between them. The well-being of Mark, according to those in the know, has been a worry for some time. He was diagnosed with cancer, but his family chose to remain silent and fight the battle. But the situation became so dire that an emergency stay in the intensive care unit was required. Kelly had always feared the worst-case scenario, the loss of her husband, her soulmate, and the father of her children. Being surrounded by medical personnel and hooked up to machines has been incredibly overwhelming for Mark. Troubled soul, Kelly's story. Kelly brings her signature warmth and humor to her morning show while keeping her cool on TV. But those closest to her reveal that she has been secretly dealing with a great deal of suffering. Witnessing the worsening of Mark's condition has crushed her. Her loved ones' faith and family are the main sources of strength for her. According to her friends and coworkers, her resilience has never wavered, but this time she feels a much heavier load. The young people congregate despite their father's scary situation. Vaken, Lola, and Michael have all rallied to support him. Family members say that Mark and Kelly have been feeling better after their many hospital visits. The significance of love, family, and unity have been driven home to them all by this crisis. Even though they may have grown up and gone their separate ways, the Consuelos children continue to provide their parents the same support they always had from being nearby. Lots of people are rooting for you. When news broke of Mark's struggle in the ICU, fans around the world were shocked. Instantaneously, social networks were flooded with messages of hope, prayer, and love. Kelly and Mark may draw strength from the outpouring of support they received, as many people shared their own stories of battling cancer. Even though celebrities tend to keep their distance from the public eye, tragedies like this serve as a stark reminder of our shared humanity, and the support of celebrities and colleagues has proved that once again. An evaluation of the family's resilience. Nothing has ever tested the Ripa Consuelos family more than this. The thought of losing Mark has long been Kelly's worst nightmare, as she has stated openly in prior interviews. Amidst the impending fear, she desperately clings to faith, optimism, and the love that has guided them through all their trials. Even when faced with adversity, resilience remains. Mark has been Kelly's rock in the storm. She says he's her compass. He fights for his life, yet his very existence is a reminder of the unbreakable bond they share. Always remember, Kelly and Mark's story is deeply personal. However, it has an important message for all people. The devastating disease known as cancer affects millions of families worldwide. It brings about anguish, worry, and doubt. But it also brings out the best in people through unity, resilience, and love. Remembering their story should make us all appreciate the people in our life. Hold them close and live each day to the fullest. When all else fails and our lives may change in a flash, love is the rock that keeps us going. What's coming up? While fighting for his life in the ICU, Mark faces an uncertain future. With Kelly at his side at all times, the physicians are making every effort. Hope exists alongside dread. The family is still very much in the thoughts and prayers of everyone who have shown their support. No matter what happens, the love story of Kelly and Mark has already touched the lives of millions. They prove that love can triumph over all odds.